Good morning, church. I hope this inspirational moment finds each of you in healthy and happy spirits. In the book of 1 Kings, we find the story of Elijah, one of the greatest prophets to ever live. And what made Elijah so great was the tremendous faith that he not only had in God, but in knowing that it was God who empowered and anointed his life and his ministry, so that through his living, God might get the glory. In fact, I would encourage you to read the book of 1 Kings, 17 through 19 chapters for yourselves and see how God used Elijah to proclaim his divine greatness to all those whom Elijah prophesied to. Because when you do, you will read how God sent ravens to feed Elijah during a time of drought, and also how he used a widow to provide food in the midst of that drought for Elijah, herself, and her son in a miraculous manner. And yes, you'll even see how Elijah raised the same widow's son from the dead through the power of God. You'll read about the showdown at Mount Carmel between this man of God and some 50 pagan priests of Baal, and how Elijah called down fire from heaven to show everyone just how powerful and great our God truly is. But beloved, as great in faith as Elijah was, he was still a man that experienced seasons of doubt and despair. And yes, even a lack of faith due to the fear in his life. Because after he defeated those false prophets, an evil woman named Jezebel, the wife of the evil king Ahab, threatened to kill Elijah as the prophets of Baal had been killed. And because of her threats, Elijah's fear caused him to forget that God was with him. So the record is that he ran for his life some 40 days and 40 nights and hid in a cave. But the thing that I want to share with you this morning is that even though, like Elijah, many of us have lapses of faith in our lives due to fear, I want to remind you that God's presence is always with us to bring us out of the moments of isolation in our lives and set us on the right pathways of life again. For God came to Elijah in that cave, and after showing him his power in the form of a great wind, a devastating earthquake, and a raging fire, God came and spoke to Elijah in a still, quiet voice and told him, 1 Kings 19 and 15, "Go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus." You see, God told Elijah that it was time to move and that he had to come out of that cave because there was still work that he had for Elijah to do. And just like Elijah, church, as we begin in the next few weeks to emerge from our homes and self-isolation, we must also remember that as the people of God, that there is still work for us to do as well. Because someone still needs to hear about the love of Jesus Christ and the glorious sacrifice that he has already given for them to have life and have it more abundantly. We can't stay isolated forever because someone still needs to know that Christ loves them and that they are not alone, because since Christ loves them and we love Christ, that we love them as well. And someone especially needs to know that there is a reality in serving a true and a living God. So church, I want to stress to you that even though it is prudent that we remain cautious and be smart about how we reintegrate into society in this new normal, I will also encourage you to not be fearful of this new normal. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. God is still with us, and he has promised to see each of us to his expected end. May God bless you